Hey, Chris, welcome along. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat to me today.
Good day, thank you.
So, as we were just talking about very briefly, we wanted to invite you on to really share a first hand experience about how you are dealing with the COVID-19 crisis, what you've gone through in your business, and how you kind of implemented a couple of changes in the last 7 days, I guess, to
Yeah.
make sure that business is still operating. So, first and foremost, tell us a little bit about yourself and about your business.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So my name's Chris. Me and my wife Linda set up Build and Function 6 years ago, almost exactly 6 years ago in the warehouse here. Linda before that was doing PT in Richmond, which is just a suburb across, and I was doing PT in Fitzroy and in Thornbury, Heidelberg. So kind of meeting in the middle worked really well. Found an old warehouse, fitted it out. And we first started by, I think we had like 12 classes a week, and then we were doing, just our existing PT clients, and now we have I think 31 classes a week, and we have five other trainers and an admin assistant, and PT on top of that. So we do small classes like 14 people in the class, and then we also do one-on-one PT and two-on-one PT.
Excellent, great overview, thank you. So now we've got an idea of what the business looks like and what the structure is like. In the last week, we've obviously seen the shutdown of gyms right across Australia. So what are you guys doing to continue to have income being generated for the business during all of this?
Yeah, well, I think probably from 2 weeks ago we started seeing numbers dropping in the classes. And a few PT clients couldn't come or didn't want to come because they were feeling sick and stuff like that. So we were like, okay, even if we stay open, like there's going to be some need to be able to train people at home, because if they're already at home for work, they might just want to stay home no matter what the warnings are. So it was, to be honest, it was mostly, this was Linda's idea. I was like, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Classic guy. We'll totally be fine. Don't worry. No one's going to get sick. Wrong. So we spent most of the weekend planning, and Linda worked with one of our trainers, David, and they kind of practiced a bit of Zoom. And we're still learning it, obviously, but from Monday we started doing online classes live. So you could join in on Zoom live, and at the moment we're doing a 6:30 a.m. and a 5 p.m. And we kind of did that because we knew we had trainers free, even if the regular classes were still running. So the first idea was, let's run this as well as all our other classes. And then obviously lunchtime Monday, no. So I think we just kind of had to just grab everything and go, and we're just like sending emails and calling people and saying, what do you want to do? The other idea we had was, if no one's in here using the equipment, maybe they want to use the equipment while they're at home. So we just came up with some packages. You could get 3 items out of the gym. We'll program 3 workouts for you to do at home, and it's this much a week debit. If you decide you want to stop, we're not going to hold you to it the whole time that we're shut down. But, a lot of members were like, that's awesome. We love you guys. We want to support you. And P.S. I get cool stuff at home. So this could actually be pretty fun. So we got that. And then we're just doing the online classes, and then we're just, I'm still slowly kind of figuring out YouTube, but I'm taking the Zoom class download, editing it just a little bit using like iMovie, so it's still on a budget, and then just throwing up basically the length of the video, so 30 minutes up on YouTube, but it's unlisted. So at the moment, anyway, only like members and people who have said that they're interested get to watch those replays.
Okay, awesome. So just to rewind a little bit. So when that Monday deadline came about and we were told, right, 12 o'clock on Monday, all gyms got to close their doors, and you had already started putting plans in place for doing the live classes via Zoom, and that's awesome, by the way. How did you communicate that to your members to get them involved in that? I'm going to ask you a few questions. How did you communicate it? Did you have to change, do you have to give them any other waivers or any type of agreement for them to participate in doing those classes from their home environment? And how did you handle direct debits and billing and communicating any changes to your members?
Great. Well, at the moment, we've pretty much just done email and then calling anyone that looks like they might need a call. So yeah, we sent out a whole group email, and it does look like we missed a few people. So we were doing a lot of Instagram as well, just letting people know what happened and what we're going to do. And then we made a decision to suspend all regular membership from Monday. So as soon as we saw the news, we just went through the list of all the members and just suspended their regular payments, so nothing's coming out. And then we asked them to email us and just tell them if they wanted to tell us if they wanted to join the online classes. And then we called almost all the list yesterday, or Phoebe did, our admin assistant, and then kind of just rolled through the list. At the moment, we just have agreements by email. So we do need to go back and set that up again. But yeah, we just wanted a list, and then we just kind of went from there.
Okay, awesome. So there's no fee applied for them to do the classes at home at the moment. That's just.
Oh no, there
is. Okay, sorry, I missed that. Okay, so you stopped their membership debits on the Monday, and then how did you come up with a price, and how are you charging them for those live classes?
I think we just kind of figured. So we did this last week. We did the pricing last week. So we looked at how many classes we were going to offer, and then the fact that they can also watch it on replay, and we just came up with. It's pretty much exactly half the weekly amount. And we thought that was pretty manageable. And also, like, due to the expressions of interest from the current members as well, it kind of felt like, you know, they'd be happy to do something affordable, but also it needs to fit in that range where we can keep operating. You know what I mean? They want us to open back up, and they're willing to meet us in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I actually want to talk to you in a second about community, because I think that forms a really big part of that, like having your community support you through this period in time. Before we talk about that though, I do want to talk about the equipment packs that you've put together. So you mentioned before that you kind of put together a few pieces of equipment that people could take and lease or have at home so that they can do some of these workouts. Can you give us a bit of an idea of, you know, what type of things did you put together? What type of packs did you put together? How did you work out pricing for them? And one of the things that I've heard from a few owners is, you know, how do we ensure that that equipment isn't damaged if we give it out to people? You know, I think everyone wants to do that, but how did you, you know, logistically make that happen and ensure, I guess, as much as possible that equipment comes back in the same condition that you lent it out in?
All good questions, all very good questions, yeah. Well, we because with the emails were going out to our list of members first, so we basically said, you know, this is the price, and you guys get to pick. We let them pick. So we said the first person to email is the first person in line, the second person, the second person, etc., etc. One kettlebell counts as one set of dumbbells counts as one item, you know, and then everything else basically counts as one item. And then I literally went around the gym and just created piles of stuff for people. And then as we went, I told them a time they could come. They came and picked it up. We helped put them in the car. They signed the debit form. So we're just doing like a fortnightly debit. That gym equipment hire does also include the 3 workouts. So if you hired a kettlebell and a dead ball and say some dumbbells, then we will look at that, and then the trainers are going to do the programming, and they'll say, let's make out a cool workout using those 3 things plus some body weight. And then the next person that hired something else, you know, we're going to use those items plus some body weight. So you do kind of get your own workouts in a sense as well. And then if you had a couple, or if you're just up for heaps of gear, you could get 6 items. That was a little bit more expensive. And then we also, we did put our cardio equipment up as well. And either we put the price up too much, or no one wants to do the cardio equipment, because only one person, two people decided that they might have a go. And I think we might have to renegotiate that price. But also, like, to be honest, everyone's really loved the online classes. It's cheaper and it's still cardio anyway because it's body weight. So I think most people are just thinking, I'd rather be involved in a group setting and do a live class than have to jump on a rower for 30 minutes and kind of make myself do it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And Chris, let me tell you, I've spent a lot of time on those Airdyne bikes, and I'm not surprised that people don't want to take them home.
Nobody wants that. It's not.
They want a break.
You should not be asking me for it. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Thank you for taking us through that. And I wanted to talk to you just really briefly about community, because you mentioned before that part of this whole process, your members want to support you through this. They want to make sure that you're opening up on the other side and going back to business on the other side. Given that you do have such a strong and loyal community for the business, can you give us some insights? Like how did that come about? How did you build it? And what do you do to actually sustain that loyalty amongst your members?
I think sometimes I think we're just really lucky, but we do work really hard on making sure that everyone knows each other's names when they come in. If they're new, they get to meet a few people. And I think having relatively small classes helps too. If there's 14 people in the class, 10 people already know each other and 4 are a bit newer, they're all going to end up chatting to each other anyway. And then the next time they do a class together, they'll chat more and more and more and more and more. So that helps. Having trainers stay for a long time is also something that really helps, so that everyone gets to know each other really, really well. And, we can just trust the trainers to hang out and talk to the guys and help them with whatever they need. And then if they need something extra, then they just jump into the office and ask us. What else? Like emails after the fact. We do kind of do every 60 days, I think all the members get like a text asking them to rate, one of the classes. So we get a lot of feedback about what's good and, what we can improve. And that really, really helps. And then we also do like 6 monthly kind of hangouts. So we go to a bar or we go and play mini golf. We played mini golf, stuff like that. Not every single member wants to come, but we find there's usually a pretty big group, and then they get to hang out, not working out. And then, they all want to talk to each other more and stay and, have a great time.
That's awesome. I love the idea of those 6 monthly catch-ups, because it gets everyone kind of out of that typical workout environment. And
it is nice to see the casual clothes, and it's good.
See someone in a different place and see them relax. So I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. So Chris, I want to finish off today with a little bit of keep me fit inspiration for everyone, to put everyone in a great mindset for the next few days ahead and for the week ahead. So do you want to share with us your number one tip for all of the gym owners out there and the operators out there that are just in this holding pattern, they're waiting to reopen? What's your number one tip that you would say to them for what they can do right now?
Yeah, I would say at the moment, I think it's a bit of a downer, that we're not being able to be open, but communication, like just talk to everyone. Everyone's feeling a little bit down, try and think of something funny to say, ask them what they're going to do when they get let out. But like, if you can communicate with all your members regularly in a group setting and in a one-on-one setting, like everyone still has their phone on, everyone can video, everyone can FaceTime, everyone can do Zoom. And the people that I've talked to already, it's only been a couple of days, have said, I want to see the group again. I love that interaction. So if you can keep that going, as soon as you open, everyone's just going to be waiting, and they're going to be knocking the door down to get back in the gym.
Yeah, that is awesome. Thank you so much. And what I would love off the back of this, maybe you can share a little screenshot with us of one of those Zoom classes taking place, because that would be really cool if you'd be happy to share that. We can add it to the comments of this video so everyone can get a bit of a feel for it. But it's been so good to talk to you. Thank you for sharing your experience while we are well and truly in the thick of this COVID-19, I nearly said Corona-19, COVID-19 kind of crisis period. And just congratulations to you and Linda and all of the team on being able to work your way through this. It's great to hear about the members and the community and the fact that they're supporting your business, and well done on, you know, being on the front foot with getting organised, getting those videos happening, doing your equipment hire. It sounds like a fantastic business that you're running. Chris, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thanks for having me. My pleasure.
Hey guys, so I kind of forgot something. I asked Chris earlier about were they worried about the equipment coming back damaged, or, you know, what sort of precautions did they take? And I never let him answer the question. So over to you, Chris. Just tell us what your thoughts are around hiring out your equipment to your members.
Yeah, I think for us it was important to make sure that the members got in first, and knowing that we have known those members for a pretty long time and they're all going to come back anyway, I think that kind of built enough trust between us to not to be too worried. I mean, a couple of things might come back dented or scratched or whatever. Like, I'd still rather be an open gym with a couple of broken pieces of equipment than the other way around. But yeah, mostly it was, we know them really well, and we're happy for them to be working out while we can't use the gear.
Great answer. Well, thank you again, Chris, and thanks for the little bonus answer at the end.
Thank you.